Gilbert Mashall stood under the blazing Belizean sun, sweat pouring down his back as he glared at the woman who had single-handedly ruined his morning, Marcella Ellis. "You owe me," he snapped, arms folded, standing beside his overturned cart, the wheels still spinning from the impact. Fresh coconuts rolled onto the sidewalk, one settling in a drain. Marcella, unbothered as usual, fixed her headscarf and smirked. "I owe you? Listen, your cart was in my way. I was riding my bicycle, minding my business, and you parked right by the market corner like you owned the place. That's on you." Gilbert exhaled sharply, nostrils flaring. He had been hustling all morning, selling coconuts to the city crowd, trying to make enough to cover his overdue rent. Then this no-good woman had come flying round the corner, lost control, and sent her cart flying. People gathered to see the usual spectacle that was Gilbert and Marcella's bickering. They were well known in the neighborhood, partly because both had tempers hotter than a midday sun, but mostly because their feuding had become the city's best free entertainment. "Marcella, you are the most miserable woman I have ever met," Gilbert fumed, picking up a coconut and shaking it as if he wanted to throw it. "You have no manners," she gasped dramatically, clutching her chest. "How dare you? I am a national treasure." "You are national disaster," he muttered under his breath. That was how their relationship had been for years, pure fire and fury. They had grown up on the same street, attended the same primary school, and now, as adults, they still couldn't seem to get along. But fate had a funny way of dealing with people like them. Later that day, Gilbert sat at his usual spot by the seafront, sipping from a coconut with a scowl. Business had been slow after Marcella's stunt. He was about to close shop when his best friend, Kenny, strolled up with a knowing grin. "You hear the news?" Kenny asked, settling onto the seawall beside him. Gilbert side-eyed him. "If it involved Marcella, I don't want to hear it." Kenny grinned wider. "Oh, you want to hear this one. Apparently she get evicted." Gilbert perked up. Wait. You mean to tell me the same Marcella Ellis, who always act like she better than everybody, get kick out a fee she house?" Kenny nodded. "Mm-hmm. I hear she looking for a place to stay." Gilbert took a long sip from his coconut. "Best news I hear all week." Fate, however, had its own wicked sense of humor. That very night, Gilbert came home to his tiny rented room only to find his landlady waiting at the front step with a folded piece of paper in hand. "Boy, I sorry," Miss Clara started, not looking all that sorry, "but the landlord say he's selling the place. You have 1 week to move out." Gilbert nearly choked on air. "1 week? Where I supposed to go?" Miss Clara shrugged. "Find somewhere cheap. You and Marcella could shack up, since both are unnu homeless." Gilbert's eye twitched. "Not if hell freeze over." 2 days later, Gilbert sat at the food stall run by Marcella's aunt, trying to figure out where to go. He had exhausted all his options. Every cheap rental was taken, and the only places left were so expensive he might as well live under the market. Then Marcella walked in, and for the first time she didn't look like she had an insult ready. She plopped onto the stool beside him, looking utterly defeated. "Gilbert," he eyed her suspiciously. "What?" She hesitated. "You find anywhere to live yet?" He narrowed his eyes. "Why?" "Because," she sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose, "I might have a solution." Gilbert scoffed. "I don't trust you." Marcella gave him a pointed look. It's a small apartment by the swing bridge. 1 bedroom, cheap rent, but only one problem. It come with one rule. Gilbert crossed his arms. And what's that? The landlady only renting to couples. Then laughter erupted from Gilbert's chest. So let me get this straight. You want me to pretend to be your loving, devoted sweetie pie boyfriend? Marcella scowled. I wouldn't say sweetie pie, but yes. He leaned back, enjoying this moment too much. What's in it for me? A place to live, she shot back. And I cook. Gilbert's stomach grumbled traitorously. Marcella's cooking was the one good thing about her. She could turn the simplest meal into a feast. He sighed dramatically. Fine, but let it be clear. I don't like you, and you don't like me. Obviously. And no funny business. Marcella smirked. Oh, don't flatter yourself. And so the unlikeliest arrangement was made. 2 stubborn, fiery personalities forced to live under the same roof, pretending to be madly in love. What could possibly go wrong? Their first night in the apartment proved disastrous. Gilbert insisted on claiming the bed, while Marcella, unwilling to surrender, declared war. She snuck in during the night and shoved him off, causing a loud thud that woke the neighbors. Woman, you mad? Gilbert groaned from the floor. Marcella pulled the covers tighter. First come, first serve. The next morning, they had to convince the landlady of their love story. They held hands so stiffly it looked like they were gripping poisonous frogs. When asked how they met, they both blurted different stories at the same time. She fell off her bicycle right into my arms. He tried to steal my coconut. The landlady raised an eyebrow, but eventually let them be. But the trouble didn't stop there. Cooking together led to a flower fight that turned the kitchen into a winter wonderland. Their romantic outings to keep up appearances involved bickering over the last piece of fried plantain at the food stall. And somehow, amidst all the mischief and mayhem, a spark began to form. Then one night, after another heated argument over who forgot to lock the door, Gilbert pulled Marcella close, closer than ever before. The air between them changed, tension thick like a humid Belizean night. Their eyes met, and suddenly the battle wasn't about space or food. It was about something neither of them was ready to admit. Then, just as their lips almost met, bam! The front door burst open. A strange man stood there, panting, eyes wide. Marcella, I finally found you! Gilbert and Marcella froze, staring at the intruder. Gilbert groaned. Oh, great! Who the hell is this now? Marcella's face turned pale before she scowled. Jerome? What the hell you doing here? Gilbert's brows furrowed. Wait, who is Jerome? Jerome stepped forward, eyes pleading. Marcella, we need to talk. It's important. Gilbert folded his arms. Oh, no. I live here too, so whatever this is, I deserve to hear it. Marcella glared at Jerome, then back at Gilbert, before groaning. Fine. Jerome is my ex-fiancé. Gilbert nearly toppled over. Ex-fiancé? Oh, hell no. I did not sign up for this drama. Jerome ran a hand over his face. Marcella, it's urgent. You're in danger. Marcella rolled her eyes. Boy, please. The only danger I'm in is killing Gilbert in his sleep. Jerome shook his head. No, you don't understand. That apartment lease? It was under my cousin's name, and he's in serious trouble. People are looking for him, and they think you're him. Silence. Gilbert blinked. So, you mean to tell me we shacked up in a place that might get us killed? Marcella exhaled sharply. Fantastic. Gilbert clapped his hands together. See? This is why I don't like you. Every time you come in my life, pure chaos. Marcella threw her hands up. Like I planned this? Jerome sighed. We need to leave. Fast. Gilbert and Marcella exchanged a look. Enemies. Fake lovers. And now fugitives. This was about to get even more interesting. Without warning, Marcella grabbed Gilbert's hand. Time to run. What? Gilbert yelped as she yanked him toward the back door. Before they could escape, Jerome lunged at Marcella. Wait! You don't understand! Gilbert, fueled by months of irritation, instinctively swung a coconut at Jerome's head. The man crumpled like a sack of flour. Marcella blinked. You just knock out my ex. Gilbert shrugged. I owed you one. The cops burst in, tackling the masked man and dragging Jerome to his feet. As they were hauled away, Jerome called out, Marcella, I still love you. Marcella rolled her eyes. Too late for that, boy. Gilbert smirked. Well, that was an eventful night. Marcella turned to him, still gripping his hand. Maybe we are not so bad together after all. Gilbert chuckled. You mean after surviving a robbery, a police raid, and your dramatic ex? She smirked. Exactly. And just like that, the fire between them burned brighter than ever. The night after Jerome's dramatic arrest, Marcella and Gilbert found themselves on the balcony of their tiny apartment, looking out over the flickering lights of the city. For once, there was no arguing, no competition, just silence, save for the distant sounds of reggae drifting from a neighbor's radio. Marcella exhaled deeply. You know, for all the madness, you kind of grew on me, Gilbert. Gilbert smirked. So, you finally admitting you like me? She rolled her eyes but didn't deny it. I'm saying, maybe you not as bad as I thought. Gilbert took a step closer, his voice softer. Same here. Even when you drive me crazy, I kind of like it. Marcella turned to him fully, their bodies just inches apart. The moonlight highlighted the playful glint in her eyes. So what now? Gilbert reached out, tucking a stray curl behind her ear. I think we stop pretending. She inhaled sharply, surprised by the gentleness in his touch. Just like that? He grinned. Just like that. Then, with the soft hum of music in the background, and the warm Caribbean breeze surrounding them, Gilbert leaned in, finally closing the distance between them. This time, there was no interruption, no exes, no masked men, just them, wrapped up in something that was far more real than either had ever expected. And just like that, their love story truly began. Love often finds us in the most unexpected places, even through chaos and conflict. Sometimes the person who challenges us the most is the one who helps us grow, and when we let go of pride and open our hearts, we might just find something real. This is the conclusion of Love and Coconut Water, a Caribbean romance story. If you enjoyed my story, give it a thumbs up. Comment so that I may know your thoughts, and share it with your friends. Subscribe to enjoy more Caribbean romance stories. Let the rhythm of the waves and the allure of tropical nights sweep you away. Explore more enchanting Caribbean romance stories that will leave you longing for sunsets and second chance. This is Irene Pandy Slusher saying don't stress, but, as we say in Belize, go slow.